I've created this video to show that it's possible to move a person who's totally unable to move their own body from a wheelchair to a bed by yourself. I'm using a Lumex powered lift and a wheelchair with a 20-inch seat, and it still fits through a standard door. Notice the yellow handles on this sling. It lets me pull her back into the wheelchair with one hand. And these leg straps are used so that by using the back sling and the leg straps, I am able to use the system for toileting. What I'm showing now is the attachment of the leg straps. The back sling's already been attached. Now we're going to begin to pick her up from the wheelchair so that I can move the wheelchair out and put the full body sling on it. For almost a year, we used a sit-to-stand lift for this, but it began to be too difficult for her, and this lift has been much less painful for her. Now I'm moving the chair back and putting this Pro Heel Universal full body sling on it so that when I set her back down, we can remove the other slings and simply use this sling to put her on the bed with. It is important that the sling be centered in the wheelchair and that she be centered on it when I pick her up. It may take some time to figure out exactly which loops to use on any of these slings, and it's really helpful to have someone who is healthy that you can use to practice with. Notice here I'm pulling on the handle on the back sling as I pull her back into the wheelchair. Once she's seated, we'll remove the back sling and the leg slings and set them aside. Here, I am actually removing the back sling. This particular lift has a center connection point that we can use. The original Hoyer lift I had did not have those, and it was not powered. It only took one attempt to get her out of bed to convince myself that there was no way I could safely use it to move her by myself. I've attached one side now, and I'm getting ready to attach the other side. In this particular case, we are using the center point for the top part of the sling and the bottom connection point for the lower part. Again, you have to experiment to determine which loops you want to use for your patient. This wheelchair has swing-back arms, and I've moved them back. For this next part, I need her to be at 90 degrees instead of facing the pole on the sling. I'm turning her sideways as I lift her. You will see that her back is facing the camera, and as soon as I can get her high enough, I will move the wheelchair out of the way. Notice I did not lift her all the way up. The lift is more stable if she's not too high as I move her toward the bed. This bedroom has a deep pile carpet. I've placed plywood over the top of the deep pile carpet and put plastic runners on top of the plywood to make the lift move more easily. This has proven to be a very easy lift to move and use. Once she's over the bed, I turn her and put her feet on the bed. You have to figure out exactly where her feet need to be. In this case, I've actually marked the pads underneath her. I'm pushing her over now so that she'll be sitting in the center of the bed. From here, all that remains is to continue to lower her until she's lying on the bed. When she's down, I'll remove the sling from the lift, get the lift out of the way, and she's ready to take a nap or go to bed for the night. I leave the sling under her because it's very difficult for her to move herself or for me to roll her over and change the sling in the traditional way. On this bed, it's virtually impossible for her to move her own body, and while it's possible for me to turn her, because of back issues and other issues, that is a very painful experience for her. She does not seem to mind sleeping on this sling, so we've discovered this is what works best for us. This system requires very little physical strength from me and has allowed me to keep her here at home instead of having to put her in a care facility.